FarmNet is a program that's been in existence for 22 years in New York State. Actually, it started as a result of the farm crisis in the mid-'80s. And as a result of that crisis, there were numerous suicides and other problems that needed to be addressed in the farming community, and that was how FarmNet got started. Although we've moved from just crisis response to being more proactive and helping people avoid problems to begin with, and manage ones that have already taken hold. New York FarmNet, this is Karen. May I help you? Sure. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about why you're calling. Behind any successful business, the most critical component is the human component. And so we think that it's essential that not only are the business details looked after, but the human element as well. We have two different kinds of consultants that work with the producers that call and ask for some type of assistance. One are financial consultants, and we also have a group of what we call personal consultants, most of which are social workers. And the problems that our social workers deal with can be anything from conflict to communication, skill development, to depression, suicide prevention, anxiety, substance abuse, the whole gamut of human issues.
As a consultant, one of the key things is the preservation of agriculture, which covers a lot of different areas. Okay, this could mean dealing with farm families on financial matters. It could mean futuristic things like wills, estate planning, buy-sell agreements between owners. It could mean dealing with various kinds of conflicts between owners and employees, or amongst owners, or between sometimes husbands and wives.
We were having a little conflict with personalities, you might say, and there would be flare-ups, and we thought that at the time that we might need to get some outside help.
One of the objectives.
Right. Yeah, that was a major objective, and as a result, they worked more as a team.
Right.
And we've been able to do.
And we're able to mix up the teams a little better than we had in the past, where we didn't maybe.
Mr. Van Borgendine called because of an issue confronting their workforce. The Van Borgendines are a high-quality plant producer on Long Island, and they have 13 employees, and there seemed to be a level of conflict and stress among the employees. And since it's a three-generation family business, it just compounded the issues that they were facing, and they noted that morale was dropping and productivity was dropping. So they asked for some help from FarmNet, and after going to Long Island and visiting with the Van Borgendines, we realized that we had no magic wand to solve their personal conflict issues, but we felt if we could provide some training to the employees that would give them all kind of a common understanding of the issues involved in conflict and in role play and in communication issues, that as adults they could solve their own problems.
I'm not good at verbalizing, and I'm not good at confronting people, and I probably didn't take the correct action, and I just walked out and stormed out and never came back for over a month. And another employee approached Bob and pretty much had said she's in the same situation, and if something doesn't change, she's going to probably walk too.
I thought it was pretty serious, and I didn't want it to get any worse and fester any longer. Productivity was going to suffer, and this business has got to be productive, otherwise it's not going to work. And I didn't know how to handle it. Nobody came to me with anything from the beginning that I felt comfortable enough, knowing enough to approach the problem. My brother obviously didn't know how to address it either if anything was brought to his attention. So when I told him that FarmNet was a possibility to help us, and I asked him, I said, what do you think? Because I wasn't going to do anything if he didn't agree. And no, he said, no, definitely, let's go forward with FarmNet.
Before we began the training, Ralph Freeman and I interviewed each of the 13 employees, including the two partners, which made 15 interviews, which took a fair amount of time because everybody had a story to tell, which was great because they were willing to open up to us, total strangers. We feel that now we're part of their family, but they did open up and they expressed their concerns. They talked about their behavior problems, and it laid the basis for developing the training program. And the employees continue to, they refer to me as Uncle Jim now.
They worked with us showing about how conflict, the pattern of conflict can go. We brought all the workers in and we would sit down for an hour, hour and a half, several times. They came back. And we built on everything from the start, how to diffuse conflict, and then how to understand where people came from. Each day there was a different, slightly different topic, and then a little bit on team building. So it all blended together and all built on top of one subject on top of another.
It went a long way in everybody realizing what type of personality they were and people that they were dealing with. And as time went on, I think everybody appreciates that everybody's a little different. And from time to time, everybody's got their problems, whether they bring problems from home. And they just have to, if they realize it and kind of work through it and realizing they may not be having the best day, that it all seem to work out pretty well.
Yes, I'm a yellow. I'm in the yellow category. Which is, I don't know if that's good or bad because both Bob and Mark are also in the yellow category, so, we don't butt heads too much, but yeah.
What does yellow mean?
Yellow is a personality color. They like to be in charge. They like things their way. They like things in order. They don't like things messy. That sort of thing. And that was one of the exercises was we split, everybody got to pick what color they thought they were. And some people were a blue, which is passive and mellow and more sensitive. And some people didn't fall into that category. And it helped everybody understand what everybody else was or what they thought they were. And it all worked out. It was good.
With some people, you did do a little bit more understanding. You had a little bit more understanding of where they were coming from when we broke up into groups. It was a surprise that some people went into some groups and you didn't think they fit in that group. But yet as they revealed some of their personal background, or you were like, oh, all right, that could work. That could fit in.
So you're going to pull your empties from here?
But now you and I have to go move around in the other house because they're going to run over into the next run.
Bob and I have both learned a lot more about keeping an eye on employees' feelings or why they might be feeling something, or if something's bothered them. It has definitely taught us something too. You learn something new every day.
To this point, I think they're all still on the job, and I think maybe they're happier. And I think now they have at least some of the tools that will stand in their stead when they're faced with these kind of issues.
I called FarmNet because at the time, my 11-year-old son felt that there was a lot of stress, anxiety in the household because of the farm. We were very disconnected as a family. I was out doing my job, my husband was doing his, and the kids would be in the house. And there was probably a lot of yelling that would go on when we would come in because of the stress of the day. You know, you would come in the house and you would think that your children can read your mind on what needs to be done, and when things weren't done, things would explode. And my son just one day said, "We need help." And he was 11 years old, and I really give him a lot of credit for that, because we did need help.
The call was because her son in particular was concerned about the tension in the family. So I called right back when I got the message from the office. We're very conscientious about that. And came out here, I believe, within a few days, and met with the family together. And particularly the son was really teary about the amount of stress that he was experiencing within the family. And Lorraine was pretty tense herself. She's a very expressive person, and she was sorry that her son was distressed.
I honestly have to say that when we sat down and we started putting things out, a lot of the problem came down to my children were pinpointing me. You know, that mom would come in and mom would explode, and so it was hard to listen to initially. But I think as time went on, a lot of different things got put out on the table. You know, everybody had problems. I had problems with things in my family. My husband had things. The children had things. And once we started all putting this out and hearing from each other, I began understanding each other, with the flaws and all. It's a normal brother-sister.
It sounds very normal
Yeah.
at this point. That's great.
You know, so Judy met with us individually to discuss problems, because there were things that maybe the children didn't need to hear, or maybe the children felt better just talking to Judy one-on-one, and Judy could then come back and tell us as parents. So, you know, first we met individually, then we would meet as a family. Judy told us that we needed to spend more time with each other, which was granted. Because we come home, we're so exhausted, we fall asleep in our chairs, we watch TV, we get on the internet to do business. So we were sort of very disconnected with our children. And so Judy recommended having family meetings, which we still do. We have a family meeting once a month. And it's getting better, because there's not a lot of things brought up at family meetings anymore. It's mostly nitpicky little things sometimes that are brought up at family meetings. There's not these big issues anymore. We play games, which was one thing that Judy said. You know, instead of always coming in and sitting and watching TV, how about playing games? So, you know, last night we played Yahtzee, and it was fun. You know, we cheated a lot, but it was fun.
I think many, many parents think that you have to have a lot of money and go do fancy stuff to be with their children. And I was really encouraging them just to play games together. You can play a game with a child for 20 minutes and feed his heart in a way that you can't get if you're watching TV together, and that you can't afford to get if you think you have to go to Darien Lake to be together. So the small elements that promote connectedness, I think are important aspects for any family, but particularly here when the parents are so busy with the farm work. How could they offer the love that they have for their children to their children in an accessible way?
I think a family meeting is a very good thing to have because it brings forward a lot of issues before they explode. We've set a chore list, which Judy had recommended, so that the kids can look to see what needs to be done. That helps a lot instead of me coming in and going, why isn't this done? So I think that the kids feel better. I think we're at least on the right track now.
We were around 59 years old, me and my wife, and you know, our bodies were getting worn out from farming. It was tough, you know. One day we were in a barn standing there. We said, you know, we just can't go on like this. We can't do this kind of work anymore. We've got to quit. And in the meantime, well, it was a good idea for a while, but then after things just it seemed to not work out. You know, I had problems with the health insurance. The company was canceling our insurance and everything, and then like in a month of March, I decided, well, we're going to be out of business. I'll sell my hay standing, and so now the hay is gone. I had a corn crop in, but no hay. And I was beginning to have second thoughts about, do I want to get out of farming or not? Well, I'd already sold my hay and everything, and I was just, I didn't realize it, but I guess I was getting into a depression, deep depression. It was bad. Hi, this is Bill Kapala here, and I've been having a lot of trouble. My health insurance is being canceled. I don't know, one day things seemed to be rock bottom. I was sitting at my desk, and I thought I had the sign on my desk that I'd had there for 10 years from FarmNet, and I thought I'd call them. Maybe they could help me with insurance.
I noticed that he sounded pretty depressed, very sad. Just seemed to be really focused on the health insurance. I offered to have a consultant come out and visit with him to discuss his options, but he wasn't really quite sure that he wanted to go that far. I wanted to try to get him into discussing, you know, the sale of the farm and his decision to do so, but he just was really quiet about that and just sounded like he was getting far away. So the only thing that I could bring him back to was, you know, if we could somehow provide him some health insurance, would he be willing to share his name and address with us? And he did do so. And I asked him where he had heard of FarmNet, and he said that he had a magnet on his refrigerator and had forgotten, you know, exactly what we did and the details, but knew that that was the number to call for help if he needed it. So he was definitely reaching out.
It just happened gradually. We got to the point where I couldn't function anymore. Nothing interested me. I don't think I smiled all summer long. You know, and that was unusual. People say, you don't look very happy today. What few people I saw. Of course, I didn't know what was going on. You know, I could go out and do what I had to do. Didn't do much more. And like I say, most of the day was just spent sitting on a couch. Appetite was gone. I think I lost 50 pounds that summer. I always loved food, and I didn't even eat anymore. It wasn't good. And no interest. Nothing interested me. Nothing was fun. Nothing to look forward to. You know, most of us, there's something to look forward to tomorrow or next week or next month. There wasn't a thing to look forward to when I was in that kind of a state of depression. And I didn't even know what it was at the time. I didn't have any idea. I knew something was wrong. It was as bad as any disease could have been, you know, as any, it was just a bad state. You couldn't, until you see it close in your family or you go through it yourself, it's hard to realize what's happening, and you don't know how to help yourself. And there again, FarmNet did it. They recognized it right away. They knew what was going on.
I called one of our consultants, Lisa Flax, and discussed with her that it wasn't the typical case because we really don't offer health insurance and there traditionally aren't a lot of options for farmers to get health insurance. But she was willing to go out to the farm and speak to him and discuss what she knew about the options, and then based on developing a rapport with him, would try to discuss with him, his emotions regarding selling the farm and what his plans for the future might be.
He said FarmNet was coming. I said, FarmNet's coming, and I'm getting nuts here. And I said, what's the matter? Well, I'm not sure what's the matter. Then he talked about the insurance, and I said, gee, I think it's depression. No, it's not depression. No, but they're coming to talk to us about the insurance. And I said, well, okay, fine. But I'm always in and out, leaving him behind, because he milked cows, and when he came out, I went back in to feed the cows and this and that. But gee, he was really acting weird, He was walking up the middle slowly.
I never dreamed it could happen to me, I was always happy and liked what I did, and how all this happened, I don't know, but probably the fact that I was on a farm for 40 years and the cows were like family, and it was just hard to let go.
Yeah, I really didn't know it till Lisa came. I knew she was coming, and I didn't know who Lisa was at all. But gosh, she was just a wonderful person, and I'm really afraid to meet people, and I don't want anybody new in my house, really. And I thought, gosh, a woman's coming to talk about insurance. Okay. Well, when she started talking, he seemed so much more relaxed. And she says, well, I'm going to make out a bunch of papers, make a few phone calls, and we'll see what we can do here. Well, right away, he was really listening to her, which normally you don't listen to me, and I thought, gosh, this is some kind of lady. So, yeah, she went into the whole thing and kept asking him little questions on the side. Well, how do you feel, Bill? Well, I'm really concerned about this insurance. And she said, well, okay, well, we'll see what else we got going here. And I don't know, right away, she looked at him, she says, just, I guess, in his eyes, she says, yeah, I think he's going through a little depression. And, but it's nothing that we can't take care of. She says, I know the right people to call, and so don't get too upset, don't get excited. I said, well, okay. I thought, oh my gosh, is he going to live? I'm thinking, oh my God, he never acted like this. He was so gray, so terrible looking. He was always big smile on his face all the time, And I said, well, if you can help him, wonderful. So she's just talking along, trying to get us relaxed, in which he was very relaxed at that time. I hadn't seen him like this in months. And so she did make her phone calls, and she says, well, I want you to see this doctor.
She got me the health insurance. That was a big help. And she got me to a doctor. We got some medication I needed. And just, they were a great help to me, and I think they could help anybody. Give them guidance, open their eyes, see what other options are out. And there are options out there, whether it's financially, emotionally, or anything. There's always options out there. You just need somebody to help steer you right, open your eyes, and guide you on the right path. Oh, there's organizations out there, but FarmNet is the best. They've got every way to help people, whether it's financially, emotionally, passing the farm on. FarmNet is just the greatest. They really go overboard, out of their way to help anybody in any way they can.
And I don't know how they teach these people to come out and deal with the farmers and all that, but it's a gift. I don't know how the FarmNet really trains, or if they do train, or if people are just really good at what they do. But yeah, without FarmNet, I just don't think anything could have happened. He wouldn't have done anything for just anybody. He needed somebody from FarmNet. We had talked to people at FarmNet, and they were so nice. And anytime you need any help, you just give us a call. Well, he took this home, and I thought, yeah, right, he'll never use that. But gosh, it's the first thing he went to, and he had so much confidence in it. And really, they did everything for him. And without them, I'm not sure he'd been here today. Want me to try some of that?
Perfect.
That's perfect. But you do need lots of help. Lots of help. Mental help. So that's what FarmNet really did for us. We just needed a lot of talking to. And a lot of listening. And I guess that's what pulled us through. And now I'm happy. I'm very happy.
life couldn't be better anymore. Like I say, this is what we do. You know, I come out every morning, every night, and the kids come out many times. My grandson is able to drive this thing home by himself now. It's an old cow path, honest to goodness cow path. And oh, there's everything here. We got a turkey in a tree there. That's a banana tree over there. The banana tree. When they go by there, they all learn how to sing that day-o. We got the skunks. All kinds of vegetation here. The ducks. Well, that's where the dinosaurs live, little dinos. And then, of course, this is where the teddy bears had their picnic. Even some wild asparagus growing right there. And now this is the magic basket coming up. But this is a dangerous place because you see that big snake there. That's kind of a big one, you know. Then we got the magic basket here. You never know what you find in there. You know, we get chips. Anybody want chips? We get chips. There's usually something like this in there, a race car, you know, and sometimes a bottle of soda. We got a rabbit there. You can see the sunflowers back there, all our vegetation. Then that big bear behind you there, you got to watch out for him.